Welcome to brand new episodes of The Value Shot. I'm Jeffrey D. Brown, publisher and editor of Guitar Business World, where we're dedicated to providing useful, thought-provoking editorial content, information, and resources for guitar-related companies, artists, and even enthusiasts from our unique business perspective. So with that in mind, let's get to it. Well, it's been a minute or two, or actually about 10 months to be exact, since our last all-new episode of The Value Shot. That was episode 17, which relaunched this program as the official podcast of Guitar Business World. And, well, a lot has happened since then. When we released that episode in August of 2024, GBW was only a few months into its first phase. We were just finding our stride. But now, as we sit here in mid-2025, well, we've published over 60 new articles, launched multiple channels with our strategy series, added premium resources, and, well, we've grown our paid subscriptions, and maybe most importantly, we've created momentum. And that's what I want to talk about today. Momentum matters. Well, momentum is one of those quiet forces in creative efforts in our business work in general. It doesn't always feel dramatic or explosive. Sometimes it's barely noticeable, but over time, it becomes one of the most valuable assets you can build. It's what happens when you keep showing up, when you publish that next article, release that new product, make that follow-up call. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it almost never is, but it gets you moving forward. And once you're in motion, it's easier to stay in motion. You gain confidence. You start to trust the process. You feel more clarity, and that's what starts to separate you from the noise. Now, I've seen this firsthand with Guitar Business World, and the early months was all about creating structure, defining categories, designing workflows, putting the pieces in place, and then seeing it all change more than once. But once the foundation was there, the value started to build. New readers came in, paid subscribers started showing up, and now we're starting to see people returning, engaging, and participating. That's momentum. It's the same concept I talk about in my upcoming book called The Destination Workbook, and also throughout our strategies content on GBW. You don't get the full result in one move. You don't leap to the finish line. You build toward it, gradually, sequentially, and cumulatively. Now, while we're at it, let's quickly revisit a little tool that some of you have undoubtedly heard me talk about at one point or another. It's called the 3 C's: capture attention, convey message, and compel action. These are the 3 steps I've used for decades in our media and marketing work in almost every aspect of the process. And the fact is that if you check each of those boxes, you've greatly increased your odds of success in whatever activity you're pursuing. And while there's a much broader explanation of how to make the 3 C's work for you in your business or profession, here's a slightly different view of how they apply directly to this idea of momentum. First, you capture attention by starting, by showing up, by creating a presence. Second, you convey your message by continuing, by staying consistent, by creating clarity. And third, you eventually compel action from yourself, your audience, your customers, because of the trust and traction you've created. It all works together. It's not magic, it's momentum. So here's what you can expect from the Value Shot moving forward. We're going to be producing short-form editorial episodes like this one on a semi-regular basis, maybe every couple weeks, maybe more. And in each episode, we're going to explore a theme that ties back to the work we're doing on GBW, strategies, challenges, opportunities, or just useful insights you can apply right now. Eventually, we'll involve some guests, not to fill time, but to offer relevant and compelling perspectives that serve our mission. But for the moment, we're keeping it lean and focused. Now, as always, this podcast is part of Guitar Business World. That's our hybrid business publication for the guitar universe. If you're not already subscribed, you can do that at guitarbusiness.substack.com. There's free and paid options available, and we're deeply grateful for those who choose to support the work we're doing with a paid subscription, you're helping us build some real value that we bring to you on a regular basis. And of course, if you're new here or you haven't listened to the original 16 episodes of The Value Shot, I do recommend going back to the beginning. Each of those episodes was built around a specific foundational concept that's designed to move your business or profession to the next level. And now many of those ideas now live on in the Destination Workbook, which is coming out this summer. There's also a complete chapter on the 3 C's and much, much more. And we'll let you know when it's available if you're interested. And I think and I hope that many of you will be. And by the way, you'll find those original Value Shot episodes right on the GBW website under the obscure heading of podcast. It's also syndicated on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just search for The Value Shot. So that's it for now. If you've listened before, you know what's coming. Stay positive. Stay focused on the destination, but always keep all the options open on how you're going to get there. And you will. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time on The Value Shot.